One evening, three friends, Hannah, Herbert, and Augie, go into the forest to look for a meteorite, the fall of which was seen by a girl. They ride through the forest on bicycles. Having ridden through the forest, the young people were still unable to find a celestial body, and Herbert invites his friends to spend the night at his mother's house, which is nearby. And in the morning, they will continue the search, because Herbert is sure that Martians have arrived on Earth. In the morning, Herbert's mother prepares breakfast for the guys and tells her son about her trip to a neighboring town to visit her brother. She insists that her son come there too, but he is not very friendly with his uncle. The friends find him in the room, where he is twirling his father's old radio in his hands. Augie laughs at him, because such stations are long outdated. Herbert's mother lets slip that since early morning, the radio has been broadcasting a message about a meteor that landed nearby. The boys run away from home to the named place. Soon they drive up to a clearing in the forest, in the middle of which lies a huge solid body. They make their way forward and come out to the end wall of the incomprehensible object. Hannah takes a picture of a meteorite, from which comes such heat that Augie burns his hand. The people understand that it is not a meteorite at all, because its shape is too regular. Suddenly, the wall begins to open, and in the depths the boys see a strange, spider-like creature, surrounded by dark smoke, which seems to be looking at them. The girl suggests leaving, and the boys support her. But at the exit from the clearing, they are detained by the police. The friends try to excuse themselves with the assignment received from the professor, but the men do not believe them, because the teacher would not send the children to a dangerous place. As a result, the police advise waiting for Doctor, who appears quite soon. Herbert tells about the creature, but she does not take his story seriously. But then the flying object is enveloped in a cloud of smoke, its wall opens, and an alien on very high legs appears from there. He rises above the amazed people and seems to examine them. The guys start running at the moment when the alien starts hunting for people. The crowd starts running, but almost everyone falls under the flames. The friends manage to hide in the thicket, where they had previously left their bicycles, and they manage to reach the town. On the way, another celestial body falls nearby. The guys watch numerous military aircraft flying in the direction of the falling alien ships. Eager to find out the news, they turn on the TV, but what they see only spoils the mood. It is obvious that chaos and confusion reign everywhere, and no one can say what will happen next. But soon the TV connections are completely disconnected, and everyone is left without information. Herbert suggests that the Martians cannot move on Earth at high speed, because their planet's gravity is much less than Earth's. Morning comes, and Hannah suddenly notices movement in the bushes nearby. She calls out to her friends. Herbert calls out to the stranger, and a soldier comes out of the bushes. He asks to let him rest a little, because he is the only one who survived. Baxter sits down at the table, and the young people notice his depression, which he explains by the fact that the Martians simply destroyed them all. He comes to his senses a little and goes to the bathroom, where he has a panic attack. But having gone down to his friends, he has already pulled himself together and tells about what is happening in the area, suggesting that they go as far away as possible. Herbert wants to find his mother, but Baxter cannot say exactly which roads are safe. He has lost his radio. And then the guys remember Herbert's father's old radio. The soldier paves the way to the right town and tries to contact one of his colleagues. And soon the corporal answers him, explaining the situation. The friends understand which way to go, stock up on food, and find another bike for their new friend, because the corporal warned that the Martians sense exhaust fumes and instantly destroy cars. Fighters fly over them, and after contacting the corporal, the friends go in the indicated direction, where they see a huge Martian tripod. Having driven around it, they get to a military post, which directs them to the river, where people are being ferried to the other side. The military does not advise going to the town, because the third cylinder landed right on its outskirts. Most likely his relatives are already being evacuated to London. Hannah worries about her relatives, but the military does not know anything about other cities, and there are no messages from Europe. The company gets to the shore, where many people have gathered. Baxter manages to find a free boat and directs the guys to it, and he himself goes to the military. The guys sit in it, but suddenly a Martian tower appears over the neighboring bank. He opens fire, but suddenly the alien is attacked by military helicopters, from whose fire he catches fire. But people rejoice too soon. On the other side, several Martians appear at once, and the friends rush to run and hide in the forest. Night falls, and having reached the river, they find an empty boat and set off along the river, looking at the distant lights above the place from which they escaped. Hannah expresses hope that Baxter will also manage to escape, but they themselves are already very tired and frozen, and therefore try to find a place to spend the night. But after walking a short distance, they notice a man. Herbert calls out to him, and it turns out that he is a priest, and it seems that there is something wrong with his head, because he immediately begins to figure out who of them is sinful and in what. Friends ask him to show them a place to spend the night, but he does not listen to anything, claiming that humanity itself has brought the wrath of punishment upon itself. Herbert tries to reason with the pessimist, telling about the Martian destroyed before their eyes, and he seems to come to his senses. They find some food, but the priest takes most of it for himself, and when the friends ask him to share it with them, he snatches a knife. The boy asks them not to touch him, and the man lets him go. He orders everyone to sit down at the table and starts a conversation about how the woman needs to be fed first, because she will be needed during the second settlement of the planet. The priest tells the friends that his entire family has died. The man goes to bed, warning that he will destroy anyone who comes close to him. The friends sit quietly all night, waiting for the morning. Finally, Herbert, having plucked up his courage, wants to take the knife from him, but hears sounds outside. Looking out the window, he sees a Martian passing by. Then the man wakes up and starts yelling at the guys, ignoring their warnings. And then the alien's tentacles penetrate through the broken window and grab the man, while the guys hide in the far room. Soon this tentacle returns and begins to search the other rooms, but then the sound of airplanes is heard outside and the alien is distracted. Suddenly the radio comes to life. It is Baxter looking for his friends and indicating his coordinates. The company moves in his direction, surprised by the strange red grass that has grown everywhere. Apparently the Martians are terraforming the planet. They decide on a route and soon come to a forest clearing where they notice signals from the thicket of the forest and meet Baxter. The guy picks up a pistol, but the soldier takes the weapon away because he does not know how to use it. And the guy himself cuts up the fish he recently caught. But the guys are not hungry and refuse the treat. Hannah is interested in their further plans because they were going to go to London, but the soldier says that most of the inhabitants have crossed the English Channel. Herbert does not want to hide anymore. He calls for starting a fight. The soldier suggests hiding in the sewers and from there carrying out sorties and attacks, but is afraid that the Martians will destroy them. As proof, he contacts one of the military men who tells him that aliens are gathering people. The guy's upset, and Hannah admits that she feels safe with him, and he talks about his childhood and his father's support, and he announces his departure. After a short argument, the others support him and go to London. They are met by an empty, burning city. Soon people see a whole company of aliens who are burning the city. They go further and soon find a ship, near which there is a Martian tripod. Hannah wonders why they are standing on this side, and suggests splitting up and examining everything more carefully from different sides. Augie stays in place, and the others run around, but Baxter stops not far from the guy. Hannah and Herbert go out almost to the ship itself, where they see many alien eggs that are fed to Earthlings. Friends hide and contact the military, while the Martian grabs Augie. The military rushes to his aid and shoots at the monster, but it stretches out its second tentacle and drags the man closer to itself. But Baxter pulls out a grenade and blows up himself and the alien. Augie falls out of the weakened tentacle. Friends pick him up and carry him away under the fiery streams of another Martian. Running away, they hide underground. Augie doesn't agree to stay here, and an argument begins. They spend the night sitting by a brick wall, and the girl wonders what will happen if tomorrow they see a dead world. Herbert jokes, although he is overcome with anxiety for his mother. Morning comes and the friends decide to look outside, where amazing silence reigns. The guys go outside, where there is not a single living soul, and soon find a dead Martian. People do not understand what happened to him, but another body of the invader lies nearby, and another. It becomes clear that for some reason they all died, and then Dr. Stent comes out to meet them, accompanied by the military. The woman is glad that her students are alive and well, and explains that the aliens died from ordinary earthly bacteria, which are completely harmless to people. The happy friends go with the doctor to the gathering place of the surviving residents of London. Moreover, there have been no new landings yet, and then Herbert's mother calls him on the radio. She is already on her way home and is very happy that her son is alive and well.